I'm Brandon Xuereb. I'm a national team member, and I am also a student at University of Toronto, Mississauga, studying psychology, and I started archery in 2007. So I started archery mainly because of Lord of the Rings. I saw Legolas and wanted to be like him. Didn't go as planned exactly, but what I really like about this sport is that it's a constant challenge, or trying to strive for that ideal shot is something that I find very motivating. So in terms of equipment, what we're looking at is the top of the high-end equipment is good when it comes to fine-tuning things. So in terms of getting better equipment, it'll be a bit easier to tune the equipment and to get it to perform better. However, it cannot help make an archer better themselves. So there is a point where the equipment can only help you, but most of what makes an archer great is their ability to execute a shot consistently on demand and being able to do so under pressure. So when it comes to, for example, my first US Nationals, where we're talking about, this is my first tournament with international shooters, so mostly Americans, I had a bow where the limbs I had were literally the bottom of the line limb. Both me and my teammate had these types of limbs because we were working on form changes. Despite that, we ranked fairly high and we actually finished quite well in this tournament. When I'm not training, I'm actually a huge nerd, so I very much enjoy Lord of the Rings, hence why I'm here. I like Star Wars, big Marvel fan, so normally any type of cinematics that involve that. I do have a fascination or an interest in aviation, so I enjoy flying a lot. I have a few collectibles. I like identifying planes.
What would you tell an archer going from that intermediate to the advanced to where you are now? There's a time and place where it becomes a little bit frustrating for a lot of the people to just kind of go over that hurdle. How did you get over it?
So, an interesting thing with archery is that it's a very, like any other performance at a high level, it's a very difficult task, and it's one that requires a passion for the sport and commitment to do the work. So there's, even where I am right now, there's still a lot to learn, but for someone who is trying to get to that next step, it's really about, you have to love the sport, you have to love putting the work in, and you have to have that commitment that even on days where you don't feel like doing your most, at least doing something that helps you improve for the next day does a lot already. Another thing I can say is we get very caught up on results and how we score or how we finish at a tournament. And regardless of what tournament it is, there is always something to be learned from it. There's always a process associated with it. And a big focus has to go on the process of achieving the goals rather than the outcome that is associated with it. If we get too caught up on future outcomes, we kind of forget to keep our mind in the present and kind of take it step by step. So as I like to describe it, is that achieving our goals is a mountain, and from far it seems like it's a huge feat, but as you take it step by step and do a little thing here and there, you'll kind of start to notice the staircase that'll help you get up that mountain. And it's just, again, about being passionate to do it and having that commitment to put the work in.